Hello, America, and welcome back to an all-new episode of On the Fly. I am your host, Katie DeFeo. We've got a lot to talk about today. The women's lacrosse season is 1 week away. Let's get into it. I'm ecstatic. You should be too. Typically on this show, I'll cover one topic, right? Last week I talked about the IL Women Preseason All-American ranking. I've done a lot of predictions over the offseason, but today this is going to be a simple news catch-up. There's been a lot going on in the world of women's lacrosse this week, more than typically. Actually, so much so that there's something happened and I missed it, and someone tweeted at me, a hater and doubter, of which there are many, tweeted at me to tell me that I missed something. So not only are we gonna cover that in today's video, but we're gonna cover all the news from the past week in the world of women's lacrosse. Ladies and gentlemen, sit down, sit back, buckle up. I'm about to take you through the past week of women's lacrosse news as we get ready for opening draw of the season, which will be this coming weekend. Syracuse versus Stanford in the Carrier Dome. I could cry, right? Don't let me get too ahead of myself. Here's the news of the past week. Number one, IL women. Last week I talked about their preseason All-American rankings. They just released their preseason team rankings. I tweeted that I think legitimately that any team in the top 10 actually has a chance at winning a national title, and I mean that. I don't think there's that big of a gap this year. I said this last week. I think it's just gonna be an exciting year for the sport. I say that every year, but it's because every year is. BC, they're gonna have a target on their back. They're the best team in the country, but they're gonna get everybody's best game. And that means something when there's so much parity across the conferences and so many teams are so stacked. It goes BC, UNC, Cuse, Northwestern, Notre Dame, Stony Brook, Florida, Duke, Maryland, Loyola, Virginia, JMU, Stanford, Denver, Princeton, Drexel, Rutgers, Jacksonville, America's team, Penn, Johns Hopkins, UConn, Temple, Michigan, UMass, Penn State. The first game of the season, we get the number 3 Syracuse Orange against number 13, the Stanford Trees. It's gonna be a sick game. It's gonna be wicked. It's gonna be a great way to kick off the season. That is this coming weekend. The next piece of news that I'd like to talk about, America East. You might know America East as the conference that Stony Brook dominates every year. That's how I know America East. When you look at Joe Spallina's run over the past 10 years at Stony Brook, and you see all those conference championships, you think, well, what conference was it? It's the America East, right? So Stony Brook announced that they're leaving the America East Conference. Where are they going? The CAA, the Colonial Athletic Conference. And you know what the America East said? That they're not allowing the student athletes from the teams that are leaving their conference to compete in the conference championship this year. I am just at a loss of words. I'm at a loss of, that really makes me angry. And here's why. Conferences, coaches, media members, staff, strength coaches, nutritionists, dietitians, therapists, the janitors that clean the weight room, all the way up to the president of the NCAA and every conference in between. Your one objective should be the well-being of the student athletes that play in your jurisdiction. It's about the kids. It's about the athletes. It has to be, or else what are we even doing this for? And you're gonna make a decision like that, America East? To kick out, by the way, this shouldn't even matter, but they are by far and away the best team in their conference. They have been for a decade. It's no secret. So you're gonna tell me that there's gonna be a sham game between two teams that are not Stony Brook to compete for the America East Championship this year, while Stony Brook could already make it at large, the tournament every year, because they're sick, they finish in the top 10 every year, but let's say they had a rough year and they needed that championship to get that automatic bid. This is a joke. A joke. The America East Conference has some nerve. I mean, I don't even know what else there is to say about it, to be honest. My prediction is that Stony Brook is gonna have a sick year, as they always do. Joe Spallina is gonna have those girls ready. They lost to Allie Kennedy. I think when Stony Brook loses girls, everybody's like, oh, you know, they're not gonna be good. No, they are. They will be. And they're gonna dominate Long Island. They're gonna dominate America East one last time, the last dance. Let's get a camera crew out there. God, I'm just sick and tired of figureheads and the bureaucracy in sports making decisions that are political decisions that are gonna only impact the players, the girls. That's completely unfair. Shame on you, America East. You heard it here first, Katie DeFeo. Shame on you. A little bit of some better news. ESPN in the past has caught some flack for their programming in terms of men's versus women's lacrosse throughout the spring. You know, it seems like every year in the past decade, we get the tweet at the beginning of the year that's like, oh, there's gonna be so many men's games, and it's like hype. And then the next day, the women's game, and it's like, ugh, geez. Not this year, guys. Not this year. Ladies and gentlemen, ESPN stepped up to the plate. 450 games across their family of networks. 450. That's ESPN, ESPNU, ACC Network, ACC Extra Plus Network subscription. 450 games available for streaming or watching on the ESPN family of networks this spring. That is a huge dub. I will say, there is a discrepancy between the men and the women in terms of the nationally televised games, but I'll be honest, I think as we continue to push this sport forward, it's okay to call out those discrepancies, but also to celebrate the wins. I am here Katie DeFeo, 2022, February, celebrating the win. 450 games across the ESPN family of networks this spring. Women's lacrosse games. That to me is a huge win. Any weekend you can turn on the ESPN family of networks, as I keep saying, and you'll be able to watch women's lacrosse. That's huge. I think that's a big win. Grow the game. And now, as Rachel DeCecco said, hashtag thank you Rachel DeCecco, our fearless leader here at Unleashed, she said, now that we got their attention, we got the games on the platform, it's very important now that we watch, guys. If you're gonna take one thing away from this episode, besides how much I hate the America East Conference, take away that you need to watch the games, right? It's not enough that we got them onto the platform and onto the TV. It's now about the numbers, how we show up, how the fans show up in droves to watch these games. So guys, please do me a favor every single weekend on like a Thursday with your homies in the group chat. Be like, hey, what are we gonna watch this weekend? Which games? Pick a couple games on the ESPN family of network. And I promise you, that will do more to grow the game than you think. The last piece of news for this week's episode on this little roundup of news that I'm doing here, I feel like a newscaster. James Madison to join the AAC after the 2022 season. Now that's the American Athletic Conference. James Madison will be joining the conference in July of 2022 as an affiliate member. JMU has had 6 consecutive NCAA tournament appearances, which includes the 2018 season when the JMU Dukes won it all. Guys, talk about a program that I think is slept on maybe the most. They literally they were one of the past 3 teams to win a national championship. That's crazy. Harrisonburg, Virginia. You ever been down there? It's a cute little small town, right off the highway. Got great bagels, got a great little vibe going down there, mountains. It's a great place to go to school. It's a great place to be a student athlete. And it's a great place to win games. We're excited for JMU here at Unleashed as they join the AAC. And this was the tweet. The other day when this happened, I had a busy day. I'll be honest, guys, I got a lot going on, right? And I got a tweet in my inbox, in my Twitter inbox. I'll blur out his name because I don't want any negative attention towards him. But this man called me out basically and said that I must have had a busy day because I didn't report on JMU. I think he was implying perhaps a bias towards big name, big conference teams. But sir, let me tell you where you went wrong. My 2 older brothers graduated from the prestigious James Madison University. I've spent more time in Harrisonburg, Virginia than I have in many, many other places in this great country that we live in. I love JMU. I wanted to play at JMU. I'm a big JMU advocate. Maddie McDaniel, one of my friends, went to JMU, played at JMU. I'm a big advocate for JMU women's lacrosse. JMU, we are proud of you. We will be watching you in the AAC. Congratulations on, going to another conference. It's always very exciting. That's it for today's episode. Top 20 out from IL women. America East doing Joe Spalina and the Stony Brook Seawolves so dirty. Lots of TV games. And James Madison hopping conferences. What do you guys think about all this news? Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Guys, my name is Katie DeFeo, and I am so excited for this season. Make sure you tune in and watch Syracuse play Stanford this weekend in the Carrier Dome. I gotta say, go Orange. I'm in Dallas, Texas, the house that Megan Carney built. I'm gonna be watching that game. I'm so excited. I watched the Duke men's team. I watched Nakai Montgomery from my couch in Dallas, Texas. That was an electric experience. Looking forward to doing the same thing with Megan Carney. Syracuse, but by way of Dallas, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Comment down below if you have any questions. Follow us on Instagram at UnleashedWLax, and I will see you guys this time next week. Peace.